Welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you some of the key functions that you will be using within Instagram Reels. So the goal of this video is to help you navigate through these functions so that it's a lot easier for you to make your first few Reels. All right, now we have my little circle gray mouse. We're going to use that to navigate. As you can see, we're currently within the create mode of Instagram Reels already. But if you're not sure how to get here, let me show you. So let me just cross out of this. You might start off within your Instagram profile, but most of the time you might start off here, which is your home page, the page that, we typically scroll just to see what our friends and family are posting. In order to get to the Reels page, bring your eyes to the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. I'm going to click on my profile photo and then go to the upper right-hand corner of the screen or the lower center of the screen. Either one, if you click on that, you'll get these options. Now go ahead and select Reel. And that brings us to this page where we can just go ahead and create Reels. Now, one thing to know about Reels is this is our record button on the bottom center. There's two ways that you can record. One is by tapping and then letting go, and it will record until you tap it again. Or you can just tap and hold and record continuously. But what we're going to focus on today are the functions that you see just over here. And we're going to focus on the functions that you're going to use the most. So we'll elaborate on those a little bit more than some of the ones that you won't be using very often. To start off with is this one over here, a little music icon. Now, if you click on that, that will show you, that'll show you the different tracks that you can take. Now, you might have noticed if you watched Instagram Reels, there are lots of videos that have music in the background, or you might have noticed some people dubbing to audio that someone else has recorded with their voice. Another thing that you'll find in that section is, bring your eyes over here, up the top is your saved tracks. It's kind of like your private folder of tracks or music that you've saved in the past. Now there's going to be a whole other video where you can watch how to do that. It coincides with saving specific types of videos where you might have seen something and it's trending, or you really like the sound of it or the look of it and you want to recreate it. So in that video, you'll be able to see how to do that all together in one hit. Okay, bring your eyes over here. This is one of the key functions that you're going to use. It's probably one of the first things that you're going to press when you get to this window. So this button over here really is the length of your Instagram reel. So let me just show you. I'm just going to click it. When I click it, see, it changes to 60 seconds, but the default is 15 seconds. Now, if you want to make a longer video, all you have to do is click it, right, to the length that you want it to be. But the maximum is 60 seconds. One thing that you may not use until later on, once you've gotten comfortable with our Reels, is this function over here, right, where it says 1. That's actually the speed of your video. So if you go to 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, when you record in that mode, you are recording a video faster, right? So instead of your video being a normal speed, it might be double the speed or triple the speed. Now, if you click on any of those ones above the 1, so 0.3 or 0.5, that means you're going to go slower. So if you want to do some slow motion. One thing that you will love, and I love, and you might use it sooner rather than later, is this little function over here where they look like sparkles. So I'll click on that. And that, if you bring your eyes to the bottom part of the screen, that brings out like different filters. So let me just show you. So I'm going to click on this one and see how it's changed. It's given us that sort of cinematic film look. Just kidding. So you've got other functions like this, the microphone, and that's kind of endless. To be honest with you, there's so many effects that if you scroll all the way, so swipe and scroll all the way to if you swipe left, it brings you to this search option where you can search or browse the different effects out there. Now the next function is this one below the effects button. And this is more for like just giving yourself an overall filter. It's called touch up. The one that you will use very often again is this one over here. This is the timer. I'll show you why you may use it often. So I'm going to click on that. Now notice here, see here, it says countdown 3S. That stands for 3 seconds. You have the option to turn that into 10 seconds if you just tap it. What that means is you get 3-second or 10-second countdown before Instagram Reels starts recording. So let me just demonstrate. Now for me to fully demonstrate how this timer works, we'd also have to move this sort of red box over here. Now this tells us how long we want to record for. This works perfectly if you are trying to match a beat of music or you just want to record just a short amount for some reason. And there's many reasons that you could be wanting to do that for, but here's just an example. So we've said, okay, Instagram, record me up until 6.4 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to click on set timer. Now, if you use TikTok, this is a little bit different to TikTok because on TikTok, if you click on set timer, by the time you click that, it will automatically run the timer and then automatically record. Now, Instagram is not like that. Once you click on set timer, you would have noticed we're not recording yet. However, when I click on the record button on Reels, it will then activate that 3-second timer. 2. And now we're recording and it's going to stop recording at that 5-second mark or 6-second mark, whatever. There we go. So did you notice up here, up the top, that red line automatically stopped? And it would have stopped at the perfect amount of seconds that we set it to within the timer. Okay, now let's talk about this function, the one that looks like 2 squares overlapping. This function is really great for transitions, okay, and I'll show you why. So let's click on that. And do you see, there I am. And the reason I say it's good for transitions is you might be making a video where you change the outfit and then you want to be in the same position once you start recording again. This is the function that you're going to be using to line yourself right back up. It may be a function that you use if you want to create some creative videos, but if you're going to do mainly chatting to the camera, it might not necessarily be the thing that you use often. Now, before we wrap up, let me show you 2 more functions that you will use as part of just creating Instagram Reels in general. Now, this first function, I'll talk through it now and you'll see why later on. This function, once we click this function over here, the back button, it's actually going to take us back and show us the recording that we've already done thus far. Okay, so it's going to let us review all of the recordings. This is also where you're able to trim any recordings that we've made. So let me show you how that works. So I'm going to click it now. And now we're recording and it's going to stop recording at that 5-second mark or 6-second. And now 6 seconds. And recording and it's going to stop recording at that 5 recording and it's going to stop recording and it's going to stop recording at that 5 recording and it's going to stop. Okay, so what you would have seen there is that we went back and it reviewed the clip that we just recorded, but it also allowed us the option to delete by just clicking the little bin icon on the left, and it also gave us the option to trim the footage. This works really well, especially if you're recording a video that is 60 seconds long and you just need to fit your video in, or you might want to trim certain sections like silences or the part where you're pressing the record button just to make your video a little bit punchier. Something to know is if we have multiple clips, it actually allows you to trim each clip separately. Now let me show you, and in order for me to show you, I just have to record another little clip. So this time I will not use the timer function. I'll just record directly and you'll see what that looks like. So I'm just clicking the record button now. This is clip number 2, and as you can see, it's automatically attached to clip number 1. One thing to know is that we cannot invert and change order of the clips right away. I just clicked on stop there, and now let's go back. Let's click on this back button. This is clip number 2, and as you can see, it's automatically attached to clip number 1. One thing to know is that we cannot invert and change order of the clips right away. This is clip number 2. This is clip number 2, and as you can see, it's automatically attached to clip number 1. One thing to know is that we cannot invert and change order. This is clip number 1. One thing to know is that this is clip number 2, and as you can see, it's automatically attached and change order of the clips. This is clip number. And there you go. So you would have seen how I trimmed the videos, but you cannot actually invert. So what actually happens sometimes is you might record clips, but if you don't check back on them before you record your next clip or the next part of your Instagram, is that you cannot actually invert the order of clips later on. You really must record in order of the actual final video that you want. So that kind of makes Instagram Reels different from TikTok as well, because TikTok allows you to invert clips thereafter, but that's just for your information. All right, now let's say we are done with this. We're happy with the production. Just a little bit of advice, if you are making videos with transitions or you wanna make punchy videos, you'll find it really handy to click on this button on a regular basis just to check that your clips are aligning with each other and sounding right. It's not about perfection, but if you're at that part where you're ready to polish up your productions, checking back on them is very handy. Now, say we're ready, let me go ahead and click on preview. We cannot invert and change order of the clips. Recording and all right, so when we clicked on preview, did you see at the upper part of the screen that you had a whole other range of functionalities? Yes, so in the next screen, you are able to add text, you're able to add voiceovers. Let me split this tutorial up and show you what the next screen looks like in the next video. From there, you'll be able to polish up your video before you go ahead and post it. So let's hop into the next tutorial.